My people of the world, where are you? Today is gonna be top mistakes when you guys immigrate to the States or when you are contemplating or thinking about immigrating to the States. And I'm gonna share with you the experience that I have with my clients and the top mistakes that I see from them. I'm going to share you my own experience because I myself immigrated to the States a bunch of years ago, and maybe I'll share with you some little stories that I had and what did I do and what I didn't do, what I was supposed to do, and things like that. And of course, I'm going to be answering your questions. So if you guys have any questions that relate to the topic of the today's stream, and also that may be related to the questions that you have about the visas, about the criteria, about the visa bulletin, about anything that has to do with talent visas, business visas, and investment visas. So let's start, and definitely I know that a bunch of you watch the stream when we finish and when we post the stream on YouTube. And if you do have questions, if you do come up with the questions that you of course were not able to ask because you're watching it offline, then drop your questions under this video. I'll definitely get back to you and answer your question. So let's start, guys. I think let's start with mistake number one. And mistake number one, I think, is the most crucial and the most important, is that you decide not to immigrate. I think this is the worst mistake that you can do in your life, not to immigrate or not to try to immigrate. Okay, this is crucial because if you never done it or if you never tried it and you could, basically you closed all the opportunities that you could have had here in the States, and you close the same opportunities for your children, for your grandchildren, and so on. Okay, so I think that your potential thoughts, okay, I feel good in my country, I think I'm all set, I got the education, I got a good job, I have an apartment, I have a car, my kids going to school, so this is all good. I don't want any change, okay? I think this is a huge mistake for one main reason. You're thinking about yourself, okay? You're thinking about this yourself. Okay, I'm all set. I got this. I got that. I have some savings maybe, and the cost of living in my country is much lower than in the States, so I'm good. That's right. But you immigrate to the States not because of yourself. Maybe to the little extent. You immigrate because of your children. Okay? And I didn't think that way when I was coming to the States. I was completely selfish. I was completely thinking only about myself, but I didn't have any family. And I was really, really young. For you guys to understand, when I first came to the US, I was 18 years old. Okay? Oh my God, that was 20 years ago. Right now I'm 38. So the first time when I came to the US, it was 2003. And definitely that was my first time in the US, and I knew immediately this was my country. Okay, I knew immediately, as if I came back home. All right, so I was coming from Russia, and Russia was my home. I came to the States, and I was like, okay, this is my home. I'm coming back home, actually. So it was kind of weird. Weird feeling as if I lived in the States for all my life. And people were friendly and people helped me. And I did what I wanted to. I didn't have any control over myself. And I think it's amazing. And especially for an 18-year-old, right? Maybe when you're 35, you're like, okay, nobody's going to control me anywhere. But when you're 18, like, you live with your parents and you have a total control, at least in Russia, and I know in many other countries too. So that was a blast for me. And definitely I was thinking, yeah, I want to continue. I want to be here. I want to work here. I want to study here, and everything worked out for me. And that wasn't the time when I stayed in the US. I came back twice afterwards, and the year when I stayed was 2005. And definitely, I do believe that that decision to stay here in the US was the most crucial for me. Okay, so just sharing with you my experience. I hope you can relate. Maybe some of you came here to the US on a tourist visa. Maybe some of you studied here. Maybe you came on a work visa like H-1B. But you were thinking about, hey, I kind of want to get a green card. So that's why I'm watching Stanislav's videos. Okay, and Stanislav's YouTube, and that's why I want to work with this guy, because he knows exactly what I'm going through. Okay, I want to repeat that I think the worst mistake you can do is to decide not to immigrate, okay? Because once you decide to immigrate, that's already half of the job done, okay? That's the mindset, and that's the most important. Once you decide, a bunch of other things come up that you have to understand and have to go through in order to do this process successfully. And let's talk about them. Let's talk about them one by one. First of all, insufficient knowledge of English. Okay? I know a lot of you guys thinking, okay, I'm going to come to the US and I'm going to study English here. Not going to happen. Okay? It's not going to happen, guys. Of course, you will be forced to study English and to learn English, but it's not going to be the way you think it's going to be. Like, oh, I'm going to open up a book, or I'm going to go to school and start doing this. Why don't you do this right now? Okay? If you can do it in the future, you can definitely do it now. Okay? So, do not wait to make your English fluent. Not only speaking English, but also written English. Okay? It's crucial. Why? Because if you don't do this, and English is your second language, you are going to be limited to the people in your community. People from Pakistan, people from Bangladesh, people from Germany, from Belgium, from Brazil, from Argentina, from Colombia, from Mexico. You're going to be limited to those communities and opportunities that those communities present. And definitely, in the beginning, you will have to stick to your own community, because they will be your guides to help you to integrate to the American society. But and that's actually another reason why you will not be able to study English here, because you'll be surrounded by people speaking your own language. And that's going to be a huge limitation. And if you guys think that your own community wants to gift you with all these opportunities, you are mistaken. Your own community wants to take your money, and that's it. Basically, that's it. All right. So studying English is very, very crucial for whatever you want to do in the States. If you want to come on a work visa, if you want to come on an immigrant visa, whatever that is, all right? Study English, that's very, very important. Mistake number 3 is inadequate understanding of the immigration laws and programs available to you. Okay, and that's kind of more for those of you who have access to the tourist visa, B1, B2, or maybe to the F1 visa, and you can come to the States, and you can be here for some time, and you can do things that other people cannot do. But if you, for whatever reason, without understanding what are the options open for you to change the status, if you go over to the illegal status for whatever reason, like, okay, I'm going to figure out this later, that's going to be so bad. Okay? Yes, maybe you'll figure out this later, but the effort and the time and money spent on this is going to be much, much more than you would have done that had you done it properly. Okay, and I'm the good example of that. Okay, that was me. That was me. So this is kind of my own experience, and that's the way. If you guys didn't know that, I when I came to the States, that's the route I took. I kind of overstayed my welcome in the States, and I was like, I'll figure it out. I'll figure this later. And when I figured that I had to, I had to figure out this even before. I mean, that was just too late. Okay, so I chose the route that I went through, and I got my experience, but I do not recommend it to anyone else. I think the best way is already know what programs are there, what are the criteria, which criteria you satisfy for the visas that you're leaning towards, and also knowing what needs to be done in order to finalize those programs that get approval for your petition. Okay, I think this is crucial. And if for whatever reason it's not, you cannot satisfy all the criteria, and you are in the US and you kind of have a dilemma, should you leave or should you stay? I think the best option is to leave and get things done by the book. Okay, I think this is the best. Again, not imposing my experience to anyone, but I think it's always good to use somebody else's experience, not to make the same mistakes. Let's move on. And also the next one is kind of connected towards what I was saying before, and that is not seeking the professional guidance. I know you guys read a lot of forums and you watch YouTube and you go to websites on immigration, the Facebook groups, and you trying to seek the experience of other people. But hey, you cannot learn in this industry the experiences of other people without the proper guidance of the professionals who is going to give you the professional advice that is tailored towards your situation. Okay, because each case is different. Each case has its own merits. Each case has own criteria and documents that prove this criteria. So you cannot you can relate to cases of other people, but you cannot build your case based on the cases of other people. Okay, this is crucial. So seek professional guidance. Like in my company, you guys know you can get a free evaluation of your case. And why does that service exist in my company? Well, when I was seeking the professional guidance, I didn't have any option like that. Okay, I didn't have an attorney who would say, hey, Stanislav, if you fill out this form, this application, I will let you know which program is good for you, which one you have more potential in. Okay, I didn't have that. So that's why I'm giving you this opportunity, guys, to make sure that you get a free evaluation of your case without paying me a penny. Okay, and I don't want your money in case I don't see how I can help you. Okay, so this is like a mechanism for you and for me to understand if we can have love. Okay, if we can love each other. you can love me because I will get you the documents, and I will love you because I know that I can get you the results for your case. All right, so it's mutual love. If you don't have a case, I don't want you to pay me a penny. Okay, I want you to make sure that if you work with my company through the free evaluation of your case, you know what you're paying for. Okay, otherwise it doesn't make sense for me, it doesn't make sense for you. So and you guys know how to get a free evaluation of your case. It's easy. First of all, there are all the links in the about section of my YouTube channel. And second of all, under each video, you can find those links, those forms, that if you fill them out, I will get back to you within 2 days and give you my analysis of your situation. And I will tell you, hey, Julian, hey, Mahmoud, hey, Juan, you do not have potential in your case. Okay, you don't have enough criteria. These are the criteria you need to work on. Okay, once you work on those criteria, come back. Okay, that's number one. And number two, I can say, hey guys, you do have potential in your case. You do have certain criteria that I already see we can build on. And if that's the case, I will tell you, hey, let's meet at the complex immigration planning. Okay? The complex immigration planning is something that, yes, you do pay money for this. The cost of it is $350. But when you walk out of the complex immigration planning, you have a written document, a written strategy on your case that's going to say which programs are good for you, which are less good, and also the exact things you need to do to make sure that you will get 90% chance of approval of your petition. Okay, so I think this is important. It is important to understand because a lot of times this kind of strategy or something even remotely close to this, attorneys start building once you already hired them. All right. In our case, you get that even before. So you know exactly the scope of work that you have to do on your cases. And guys, if you get the questions, don't forget you can ask me questions about what I'm talking about and also about other things. Okay, about the visas, about the criteria, about anything that bothers you. All right. Of course, concerning my expertise. If I know the answer, I will answer. If I don't know the answer, well, I'll let you know. Okay, so let's see. Let's talk about not the preliminary steps that you need to do before immigrating. Let's talk about what you need to expect from working on your case. Okay, I think this is important to understand because we do have the Department of Quality Control in my company, and we do collect the feedback from our clients after they got approval for their petitions. And number one, let's say constructive criticism that I get from my clients is that they did not understand the scope of the volume of work that needs to be done on the case. Okay, so because I get that feedback, I feel obliged to talk about it. Okay, and let's put it in the perspective. Let's talk about the real numbers. So you have to be ready mentally to commit to your case, to preparation of the documents for at least 5 months. Okay? If you have other commitments, family, health issues, work, whatever that is, and you don't see where you're going to get time to work on your documents, you cannot start working on your case. Okay? You just can't. Why? Because with this mentality, you will not be able to complete the tasks and the requirements that I impose on you. Okay? Because I will be asking for the paperwork. I'll be saying, hey, Julian, by next Friday, I need from you all the awards that you got for your competitions, all the press about you, and the description of the judging the work of others. You have these templates, you have the examples, you have the team who's going to help you to create that paperwork, but you have to do it. Okay? If you don't do it, nobody will. So you have to be mentally ready for the next 5 months when you start working on your case to commit to your case. Okay? Yes, we have separate projects in the company that will save you time. But if you don't want to spend more money, you're already spending $13,000 on your EB1A or EB2 national interest waiver, or you spend $11,000 on your O1 E2 visa. That's already a lot of money. Okay, so you can compensate spending more by working more on your case. Okay, and you have all the tools for that. All you need to do is sit down and work. So, in the perspective, how many hours do I expect you to work on your case weekly? First 2-3 months. I expect you to work on your case at least 12, 15 hours a week. Okay? Maybe some of you just fainted, like just fell down. Okay, yes, that's a lot of work, guys. But you know what you work for. You know the goal. You know why you're doing this. All right? And I think this is the most important. After 2-3 months, because it's very intensive in the beginning, like you have to describe this, you have to provide that, you have to get the recommendation letters, you have to describe how your business work, you need to explain how you made that money, all these translations and things like that. Yes, it's very intensive, and we have the process in the company when, while you're working on this set of documents, we are reviewing the prior set of documents, and if something we didn't like, we're gonna return it to you for corrections. Okay, so sometimes you have to go back and, oh my God, I already done this work. This is discouraging. Yes, I can understand that. But if you don't do this, who will? Okay, nobody will. So you have to be committed mentally, physically and time-wise to your petition, to your immigrant or non-immigrant visa. And of course, if we're talking about talent visas, and what are the talent visas? O1, EB1A, and EB2 National Interest Waiver. And the biggest chunk of work that needs to be done of those on those visas is the recommendation letters. Okay, recommendation letters. Why? Well, because you have to provide 15 of them, 15, all right? Each one of them needs to be at least 3 pages. 3 pages of standard legal letter standard of the documents, okay? So multiply 3 pages by 15, that's like 45 pages of text, okay? So this is a lot of texting, right? A lot of typing. And of course, each letter has its review. You have your paralegal reviewing your letter. You have your supervisor. You have a person from the strategy department. You have Stanislav watching over what's going on with those letters. So it may take time till we get all of them through, and then maybe return some of them to you for implementation or recommendation. So it could be stressful. It could take a lot of time. But hey, it needs to be done, okay? So do not expect that if you paid to the attorney, everything is going to be done for you. There is no way. There is no way in this particular format. If we talk about the talent visas, national interest project visa, the business visas, because no one knows your talent and your projects and your achievement than you do. Okay, so with the processes that we developed in the company, each of our petition is authentic. It's authentic. We didn't have such a petition before. It's new, it's original. And of course, immigration officer sees that. He sees that there is no like templates, the same text, the same recommendation letters, they're all different. Why? Because that's how we do it. And without your involvement, there is no way we can do that. All right. So expect to work a lot on your cases. I think this is very crucial to understand. Also expect that if it's an immigrant visa, and what is an immigrant visa? It's the visa that starts with EB, EB1A, EB2, EB3, EB4, EB5. Expect to have a time lapse of about 9 months after approval of your petition before the interview will be scheduled in the US Embassy. Okay? And I see it all the time. Oh my God, Stanislav, I got an approval for my EB1A. Why it takes so long for them to process my paperwork in NVC and US Embassy in my country? Well, it is what it is, guys. There's nothing we can do. That's the government, okay? I mean, if they take a lot of time, like years, we can file a lawsuit in the federal court. But that usually doesn't happen like that, all right? By the way, let me give you a little update on what's going on with this process, with the way you move through the system after the approval. We noticed that the clients that we got approval for a green card in June and July, they, for whatever reason, got scheduled for September and October for visa interview. Okay, I was shocked, guys. I was shocked. It wasn't one client. It wasn't two. It were like 5, 10 clients at the same time, out of blue, because we, like in a normal track, we getting our clients who got approvals back in January and December for interview in September and October. So about 9-10 months for each client, and this is normal, like what I'm talking about, 9 months after the approval. But suddenly, clients that just with the recent approvals got scheduled really quick. And I looked at the cases, I was like, maybe there's something in the cases, maybe like the engineers, maybe the IT people, maybe like the space engineers, something like important to the States, but no. Those are like nail masters, business people. Yes, there were like a couple of engineers, a bunch of sport people. So there's no connection between the cases. So what I'm thinking is happening right now is that NVC and Department of Homeland Security, they are trying to optimize the immigration process to speed up your applications that were approved for the green card. Okay? I think this is fantastic because it's not one case, not two cases, it's a lot of cases that moving faster. And what's weird, that everything in between, so between like January and June, so because we had a lot of approvals between those two, nothing happened to them. So I hope that they will go retroactively and start scheduling faster for those who wait longer. Because sometimes they just start taking the new cases with the new system, and the old cases, they just go with it on their own, okay? So I hope it's not like that. Again, if you start getting your approval maybe like 6 months from now, maybe March 2024, if it's EB1A, EB2NIW, you may have to expect to get your interview by the end of 2024, okay? If they fully implement the new system. Okay, so guys, I need questions from you. I need questions from you because I can keep trying to entertain you, but if you don't have any questions, maybe I'm doing just great work and I'm explaining everything good. But I do need questions from you to see if something you want to know, some more details about visas, about the visa process, about immigrating to the US, the documents, the paperwork, whatever we discussed today, okay? So let me know if you have any questions. If not, I'm gonna go and have my lunch, all right? I have things to do. So I'll give you like 30 seconds if you come up with any questions. If not, we will wish each other a good end of the week and a good weekend. Okay, good. There was a lot of good information today, guys. And for those of you who were a little bit late, you can rewatch the beginning of the stream because I was sharing some personal experiences that you may find helpful for your own cases. Otherwise, I wish you a great end of the week and a great weekend. I'm Stanislav Shamayev, a lawyer of the future. Your future begins here. Good luck.